Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you've got the Temperance card. It's an interesting card for you guys to have because the Temperance card is ruled by Sagittarius, which is usually your direct opposite in the zodiac. And what this suggests to me is that this week there are two things that are likely to be very much at the forefront for you. Partnerships, connections and collaborations of all kinds. And the other thing is, remember, it's the Temperance card. This is all about balance. It's all about the energy of temperance itself, right? So this week I want to ask you, my dear Geminis, to be a little bit more patient with yourselves than usual. And I say this because your ruler is currently retrograde. But by the time we get to the 3rd of February, let's say the 4th, just to be safe, he will be direct, or should I say they will be direct, because Mercury is ambidextrous, bisexual, hermaphroditic. I said it, yay. Out here smashing words. So the other thing with this Temperance card as well, this is a week where it does suggest that you're going to have to find ways to bring certain things together that might not necessarily mix. This may be you and another person, it may be you and another, two different types of situations, etc. It's all going to depend on your obviously personal experience, but this is something that you might need to consider this week. Now, that being said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you have the 4 of Pentacles, right? So when it comes to your finances, your money and your resources, this may be a week where you're, especially with the Temperance card, you might be having to balance the books this week. Whether this is looking at your savings, whether it's looking at the money that you have or have access to, this would be a good week to start considering what you're going to need in terms of the hard assets in order to get something off the ground or move ahead with a certain plan. The other thing with that Temperance card as well, this may be a week where you're having to really think hard about who you're going to need in order to make a certain thing happen. The other thing with the 4 of Pentacles as well, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, this isn't in your health sector as yet, but it's something that I want you to look at. I'm not a doctor, can't give you medical advice, but your liver and or your gallbladder might need some attention this week, all right? The reason I say this is that card has those meanings anyway. But furthermore, the Temperance card, and this always strikes me as something that a lot of people forget to mention, it's healthcare professionals, alternative therapists and healers, doctors, nurses, it's all of those kinds of things. So I wonder if this is maybe some of you going for a checkup or something. So, you know, if you have any issues, I'm not a doctor, can't give you medical advice, but go and get yourself checked out. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 7 of Wands. Yeah, especially with this, right? Now, usually, and this is one of the reasons, without getting into a massive lecture, one of the reasons I don't read reversals is because when tarot has a message for you, trust me, he will be persistent and he will get it across to you no matter what. And these 3 cards, specifically the 7 of Wands, actually speaks to your immune system. Now, again, I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but when I see these 3 cards together, there's something happening for you guys this week on a health and physical vitality kind of level. Please go, you know, this isn't to say that suddenly all Geminis are now going to have, you know, the health problems that I'm talking about. I'm just saying, please, this week, if you feel under it in any way, shape or form, go and get yourself checked out and have those aspects of yourself looked at, your liver, your gallbladder, and especially your immune system. Now, that portion of the reading aside, thank you Tarot for being so damn persistent. You've got the 7 of Wands in the communications and conversations. Underneath the Temperance card, get a second opinion. Whether this is about your health or not, this is a week for you to get a second opinion. Don't take somebody's word for it. You need cold, hard facts. You need to see it backed up, right? The other thing that I will say to you here as well, this is a conflict card, right? And you guys are known for being really good at mental and verbal jousting, and you might find that this week those skills come into play. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, one way that this might show up for you, yours might have to be the steadying hand, right? But in order to I kind of feel like you're going to have to say something in a situation that up until now maybe you've just been like, you know what, not my monkey, not my circus, not my circus, not my crowd, or whatever the saying is, right? I kind of feel like this week it's like it gets to the point where you're like, no, I have to say something now. And it kind of feels like you're going to say something, but it will be the right thing being said by the right person, obviously. So just something to think about for those of you that are business owners or people that work for themselves. If you're a one-man band, this is a week to look at your clientele, right? It kind of suggests that you might be either phasing something out or phasing in a new client. And it might be that you're trying to streamline some of the processes of your work in order to serve everybody with the same sort of brush stroke. I hope that makes sense. For those of you that are... it could be as well that you're trying to bring an unpopular, if you're those of you that work for yourselves, it could be that you're trying to bring an unpopular opinion or an unpopular product, you know, like, it's like, you will love Crocs, damn it. You know, like something that nobody likes, you know, and you're just like, no, you will love it. That's very Simpsons, love it. For your, sorry, I'm just dorking out right now. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, please pay attention to some of the healthcare stuff. Also, you know, especially if you're at retirement age and all the rest of it. At worst, what happens? You go and you're absolutely fine. Great. Okay. You've wasted a bit of time, but at least you know. But if you are retired, again, this kind of feels like maybe a family situation that arises. Maybe a friendship circle is kind of a little bit all over the place and you're having to step in or to say something where maybe you wouldn't usually. For your love and relations, you've got the Page of Swords. For those of you that are single, especially for those of you that are either recently seeing someone or you've been seeing someone just to see kind of how it goes and it's been off and on, this is going to be a week of decisions. This will be a week where you decide we're either in it or we're not. For those of you that are partnered or married or have been in a long-term commitment for a long time, this might be a challenging week, right? There might be a little bit of drama when it comes to the partnership this week. Maybe you and a partner are not seeing eye to eye. Maybe one of you has an idea of some sort that is unpopular. Something to consider. For those of you that are single and looking to mingle, if I'm honest, it looks like you've got so much other stuff going on that this week might not necessarily be the case. However, if any of you are going on job interviews, you may see somebody there or on the way there that catches your eye. For your money and materials, you've got the Three of Cups. So if you want to make money this week, there is a reunion, a realignment, or a get together of some sort that could make all the difference. Maybe this is you having to find a way to bury the hatchet with somebody. Very possible. If I'm honest, it does feel like you would probably be the one doing most of the listening. And I kind of feel like that might be the need or the necessity, right? So just something that you need to weigh up. The other thing with the Three of Cups is going to be for your friends, for your network, that you are likely to increase your earning potential. When it comes to your home and environment, the Three of Cups... I mean, the Three of Cups is nice for home and environment because it suggests that you're having friends around, you know, having a gathering or a get together, if that's possible, wherever you are in the world. For those of you, and then when it comes to your home and health and vitality, the Three of Cups is nice because it suggests that even if you have got anything else going on in the background, it's not affecting your mood. All right. So for your New moon. So for those of you that are ascendant Geminis, to a lesser degree the sun and the moon, this is happening in your 9th house, which is all to do with you know, higher education, higher wisdom, higher learning. This would be a great week, especially for those of you that are wanting to take courses on something or that maybe has a spiritual nature, or something that is at least going to take you out of your current or usual way of thinking. Maybe for some of you as well, especially because this is the 9th house is technically the, you know, the Sagittarian kind of energy. So it's interesting that you've got that Temperance card, because it does suggest that you're taking your mind out of where it is usually and putting it somewhere else. And that suggests to me that this Mercury retrograde has done a lot to help you see something in a different light, or maybe even see yourself in a different light. So that new moon in the 9th house, you've got the gate 28 and possible. Dream big. The 9th house is a future house. It's a future orientated house. It looks out onto what is next, what can be innovated, what can be changed, what can be adapted, and more importantly, how can things that are traditional become something brand new, or be integrated into something new to produce a much better symbiotic whole. The fact that you've got the possibility card here as well, I love this, because it always says to me that whatever you envision or dream can be possible. And that new moon is really going to give you some oomph in that space to say, if you're willing to put this idea, ideology or belief down, you know, success is absolutely possible for you. And I kind of get the feeling that you already know what it is that you want to do. It's just figuring out the right pathway or the right steps towards it. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.